Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you? Let's give a big round of hand to Roasted there. She had some Oracle before it popped up. So, major congratulations. I saw your post in Facebook there. Way to go. You should be dancing. Or maybe you started dancing and hadn't finished yet. Nice job. Nice job. Let's see. Good morning to Sharon. Good morning. Roasted. Good morning again. Good morning. Let's see. Jim, Roger, Gold, Rally, myself, Len. Good morning. Sunny. Good morning. Thanks again for your post, Sunny. Appreciate it. And let's see here. Good morning, Julie. Hey, Roger. Good morning to everybody. All right, man. What a good day, huh? I mean, I'm excited for Roasted. I really am. I saw her post last night in Facebook. Oh yeah, that's the way to go. So, well, that's going to be the second chart we look at, by the way. I want to look at the very first chart here. We're going to look at UNH because I know that there's a lot of people in UNH, and it's working out really, really nice for us. I'm in it long term in my long term account, and it's working out absolutely wonderful. This is a rounded bottom breakout. If you don't know what that is, I would strongly urge you ask here in the trading room, and we can absolutely cover that today, as much and as long as you want. I love this strategy, this setup in this chart, and just love it. So here we are moving up. The dotted deuce here. This is for the rounded bottom breakout. One of the main targets up here, that red dotted line, that is the modified 200 period moving average is what that is. Now, there's a couple other things we're going to put in there. You can see I've got some other lines drawn in there. And that would have been a target right there, but not one that was overly important, overly, other than we gapped right to it. And then from there, we, went up. Here we are playing around. Let's see if we can get through that dotted deuce line there. And then the 200 period moving average will be the next target area. However, I do think we ought to put a line somewhere in the middle. And, for those that might need to jump out of it right there, for those that are just trading it, that would be a good 380, I think, good 380 mark. That would be a good place for it. Otherwise, my plan is just to keep holding it. It is in my longer term account, which I have to admit, it does go against my short term trading. And that is kind of painful. But congratulations for everyone that's in UNH. And then there's Roasted. Wow, way to go. What are you gonna do? Buy a new car? Buy a horse? I don't know. Super, 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 super. So I don't know exactly where you were in it, but you said you owned it before the gap up. So let's just do this. So there's a 26% trade. Looks like you're going to make a little more money here. So you're at 31% right now. Congratulations, seriously. And it's just from being in there, folks, I don't exactly know what Kathy's strategy is. I don't know, what she's looking for, but particularly. But I can see from this chart, we've been up, we've rolled under the dotted deuce here. I'm sorry, the trend indicator and the 50 period moving average. And right here, it started to come up. Look at that. And then so I could see that, well, maybe her buy was maybe on this candle or maybe on this candle here. That's what I would see, possibly down here, and then rock and roll. But it really doesn't matter. You're in the game, man. You're in the game. You can go buy a new car or horse or a bunny rabbit. I don't know, whatever you do there. So super trade. Nice. Hey, you also, Kathy is one of these posts. Kathy is Roasted, okay? Roasted is Kathy. I think Kathy came first and Roasted came second. She posts an awful lot in our Facebook group, and I urge everyone to sign up for it. I really, really do. It's free. But a lot of good stuff. We're getting a few people that post a lot in there. Keith, I need to talk to Keith. I think he's been doing a great job in there, and I don't even know if Keith's in the room. Daryl's a member here in the room, and he posts on Facebook an awful lot. I post there, but somebody by the name of Donna posts for me because I just don't have time to do it. And I appreciate Donna, the world of Donna. Um, and but yeah, and it's private, so it's not like you're going to get a lot of junk. And junk gets weeded out really, really fast if it ever slips in there. Anyway, love to have you. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, geez, I got sidetracked. Sorry. Kathy's also been talking about hymns in Facebook here. Well, let's go look at hymns. That's a nice chart. I took a look at hymns last night, and this is what I came up with. Looking through Facebook, and I saw that. Well, let me go to my computer and take a look at it. At first glance, I was a little bit, not quite what she's doing here. But then I started drawing lines on it and making some sense of it. Like, okay, I see now what we've got. So hymns is clearly in a downtrend. You can see the lower tops, downtrend from the lower tops, okay? It clearly is in an uptrend overall from higher lows, higher bottoms. Well, right here, we do this morning star candlestick pattern off the 200 period moving average. We rally up with a big gusto here, and then we just consolidate. We test the 50, and it couldn't get through the 50. This is our 50% retracement mark right here. That's what that is. And what I see happening here is a chart. Make this blue. We've gone up. I think we can say that we're making a higher low at the moment. So far, that's looking terrific. Now, we start moving up. Well, here's targets I'm going to be looking at right there. Now I can hear the typing already. Okay, man, that sure is a lot of resistance, that we're going to run into, and I agree. But resistance is a target. Targets are resistance. Will become resistance maybe, but resistance is a great target. So right now, I'm liking what she's looking at here. And when you think about it, I don't know where the entry would be. So let's just, let's make an entry at 50.40. So right up here, that first target, well, that's almost 8%. And that's nothing to sneeze about. Then our second target is up here at 19 to 20%. There's no sneezing on that one. That's a good move. And then if we move right on up to that downtrend line, there's 23%. Now, it's not going to do it all in one day. Probably not going to do it in 2 days either. But this is definitely one that I think should be on the watch list and considered take it serious. So thank you, Kathy, and thank you very much for posting that on Facebook, giving a early heads up. It might not have been one that I would have looked at today. Doesn't fit what I might look for in the mornings. So thank you for doing that. Hymns, I think hymns is worth a look. I sold my UUU yesterday, 50%. So what happened yesterday is every Tuesday, I've got to go to the doctor. Off mic, I'll tell everybody in the room, but are off the, you know what I mean. I've got to go to the doctor, and I'm usually out for the day. And Doug, thank you very much for covering, Doug. If you're in here, you're a fine individual. You're kind. You're wise. Just a fine individual. Okay, so thank you for covering for me. So what I did, and I was at the doctor when I did this on my phone, and a year, 2 years ago, you would no more have gotten me to do this than Man in the Moon. But I guess it's the way things. You have to grow. You have to grow with technology. So on my phone, I set a profit target at 50%. When it hit 50%, it's sold, and boom, I've got a message it's sold. So okay, I'm out. Well, perfect trade. I mean, right up, went right through a target here, and it did pause right here, and then it went to this target right here. Now I see no reason, absolutely no reason why we can't move higher on this. In fact, I would think it's going to go up here. So I very well may be getting back into this, But it was a nice trade, buy on a 3/8 trap, moves up, and here we are. Speaking of that, because as I said 3/8 trap, I remembered. I don't know if anybody is watching the case study episodes that I put out there on YouTube. I'm up to case study. I'm up to episode 17 now, and they're about charts that enter, maybe why I enter, and I'm trying to make them more informational, but I don't want them to be a marathon either. But we don't want a marathon video out there on this. So I'm trying to keep it very short and trying to keep it as detailed as possible. But that's a great learning tool. That's a fantastic learning tool. So if you get a chance just to look at those, and they're 9-10 minutes long, something like that, they're not too bad. Okay. So anyway, that one we're out of here. I've written Wolf. Oh, I almost bought Wolf yesterday, folks. Almost. I was here the last half hour, last 45 minutes maybe. Was back at my desk, and Wolf is on the hot seat now. Wolf. I think some of us tried to trade Wolf through here, and it was just a no go. It wouldn't work. Well, here it is. It's finally working. Popped up, and now we're getting a little pullback. This is opportunity, if you ask me. So. The two lines I have up here are alerts. So if I get alerted through this line, I'm very likely to buy it. Okay. And then from here, the first target up here is in the neighborhood of 16% right here. Okay. So, I have to watch what this candle actually does when the market opens, and I'll make a determination whether I'm going to buy that or not. What else here? Oh, anybody following PLTR? PLTR had a nice trade here, nice move, not a trade, a move, right up here to our 50% retracement line, which is resistance and is support at the same time. It just depends what side of the tracks the candle's on. And right now it's on the lower side of the tracks, or the south side of the tracks. When it moves up, it'll be on the north side of the tracks. And that should push us up right here in 170. We'll call it 173. So keep your eyes on PLTR. Now, you don't have to do that one for those that don't have the money. Not that one. This one, PTIR. I bought this one yesterday afternoon while I was sitting here in my 30-45 minutes time. And PTIR, we're gapping up, so I'll be in the money right away here. That's nice. And then there's the tracks. And that should act as some sort of a resistant area that, let's do this, bounce in there a little bit, maybe even poke its nose up there, but should start to, it may not go for 2 or 3 days. It might want to get up through it. And that's okay, because then it'll act as support. And then our next target will be that $30.15. This should be a big moneymaker if all that works out. Okay. ACLO here. Let's take a look at ACLO. There we go. Hey, good morning, 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Neil, good morning. I'm sorry, I just noticed over there. I apologize. I didn't look over there. Thank you for being there. Appreciate it. So ACLO here is setting up. That looks like a pretty good buy. I'm going to move this over. There's our 50 cents, or our 50 cents, our 50% mark. Still on the south side of those tracks. That's going to make a pretty darn good target. I think I would also be looking at that one too. Profits are your friend. Don't be afraid to take profits, okay? Good morning, Coach. Glad to have you here. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3's in Meta, and got some nice profits. Yeah, very nice. And I think Meta goes higher, so I think Meta is a good one. Absolutely. I would think Meta gets at least here, and then, it might work to fill that gap up there. But yeah, I think Meta's a good one. Yeah. For those that can't trade Meta, you can trade FBL, a little better price here. But FBL is a good trade. I believe there's one or two hit run candlestick members in FBL. So that might be tradable there for you. Let's see what else. Okay. Where's my notepad? NEM. Anyone looking at gold? I think NEM is set up now. We've got a trend to the upside. We've got a little pop out of the box. Nice consolidation. In the box can be bought. A break out of the box can be bought. So NEM looking pretty good right there. Still moving up. What else do we have? If anybody has anything, if you don't, I could keep going. I wrote CO. I can't read my handwriting, so never mind on that one. Let's just start from the top here. One of my scans, and we'll do that. Check out SMR. SMR might have a date with that 50 period moving average. And then after that, it might be home free to move up there. Hey, Sharon. AVGO. There we go. Here, let's get rid of all that stuff. Let's put a flat line in there. So AVGO, we've gapped up. So far, I think we're holding well up in there. It's like just trying to figure out where the little box is. You know, the candles are trying to figure out its limits. Right now, I would say above yesterday's low is what I would be looking at. Anything past that, well, you've got a lot you could come to. So anything above that is good. And right now, to me, it's a buy. If we start breaking out of yesterday's candle, that is definitely a buy to me. So AVGO Broadcom, I think, is looking terrific. Thank you. Yeah, nice chart. Open on YouTube. There's somebody there that asked me to take a look at Open here, and let's get rid of this. Open has had this big move up. It hit that 50% retracement level, and it's bouncing back. I mean, this is a classic 100%. It happens all the time. So it bounces back. Now it's got to figure itself out because it was a little bit shocked. You know, how dare somebody stop me? And well, I got news for you. There's always going to be somebody bigger than you. So here it's down. Now it's got to set itself up. And it might want to test this area one more time and pull back again. This was pretty harsh. So it needs to, you know, it's like Humpty Dumpty or Mrs. and Mr. Potato Head. You know, when it falls, all the arms, legs, lips, ears, eyeballs fall out of it. Well, it's got to put all that stuff back on. And it may take a few days for it to do that, to resume its going to move up here. Right now, still in a bullish trend. I just don't think it's buyable right now. It'd be wasted money at this point. Okay, wasted money. Hey, speaking of wasted money, I want to show this right here. Not that part necessarily, although I'll go slow over this part for anyone that would like to start our program. This is for trials, basically. I'll post this link out there. It's already posted in YouTube, but I'll post it out in the members here in a minute, okay? This is a great page to go to. It's a clean page, meaning there's not a lot of junk on it. But this is where, you know, you set up your you know, how much do you put in a position if you're interested in doubling your money. If you're not, you can manipulate this a little bit so that it's not about doubling your money. You know, say you have $10,000 and you don't feel like you want to be that aggressive, if that's aggressive to you. It's real simple. Just back it down to 5 or 7,500. If you have $100,000, but you don't want to trade with $100,000, you're not interested in doubling $100,000 because that might be overwhelming. I get that. You could You know you have $100,000, but you know you could just change this to $50,000. That's all you got to do. And now you can see what $50,000 are, that number. Um, but I think this is a worthwhile page to go to. And also there is the position size here. This is and this one this one is on you. Okay, I'll try to help with this, but you've got to decide what you are. You know, are you a good trader? Are you? You got to be honest with yourself. Okay, you have to be honest, because if you are, well, you can raise that number. You can raise it. I run in the 15% range. I run in the 15% range. But somebody that, you know, if you're honest and you say, no, I'm not a good trader, I suck, actually, I'm trying to be a good trader, but I suck, well, try 3%. Try 3% until you get where you're a better trader. And then as you're a better trader, you can raise that up. But this is purely on you. Now, I'll be glad to talk about it. I've actually got a couple people today scheduled to talk about this and help them with it. But this is, you got to be careful with that number. Okay. All right. Back to this. Huh? So what do we have? Roasted. What are your thoughts on Hood? Let's see. Hood. Hood. Well, I think I would still have to be a little bit bullish on Hood. I think Hood may move a little higher, but let's not get too carried away. You know, you don't want Hood to drop down. We can always buy it back. So right here is where Hood is. I'm going to call this the breakout area right there. All right. Breaking out of the gap candle and then breaking out of these candles as well. So here we are. So if we drop our stop, I think that might be a little high for a stop. But if we went below, just below the body, just a little bit of yesterday's candle, you know, that what's that going to do? And you'll be able to see the candle here. If it goes down, it'll start looking like this. I don't think that's the chart you want to keep right there, unless you're looking for it long term, which you're going to live with those things. So, you know, maybe some profit taking is, or if it starts to weaken up, if the market starts to weaken up. And I want to talk about the market yet today too. So nice trade. Kathy, you've been hot lately. Way to go. All right, let me talk about two more, and then I want to talk about the market a little bit. All right. So we're going to look at Wolf over here. That's actually on my watch list. Yeah, Wolf's a buy. Okay, Wolf is a buy. The question on Wolf is your entry. You just have to figure out what your entry is going to be. Right now, I think this is a pretty darn good entry right here, because the risk would be, you know, down below the dotted deuce, the 50, the T line. You've got a lot of moving average support right there. So below that line. So I think we're really good for support. Lots of great upside, and I love that gap that it put in there, and a little pullback after a gap is very, very normal. So I think Wolf is definitely on the long side. A little bit of TastyTrade, TLRY. There we go, TastyTrade. TastyTrade, I'm assuming that's long. Yeah. It's going to need to give me some love first, you know, a little love. So far, it's just down. Nothing has changed. The cap is the T line. So over the T line, that would be the change. Make the trend indicator green, that would be the change. And if that happens, then I think we've got some nice targets up here, 146 and then even 170 up here. And that's a 30% gain. But I think I need some love to show me that it's viable. Can only buy love. All right, let's talk about the market real quick. All right. Number one, follow the chart. That's number one. Number two, follow the chart. When we're looking at trading charts, individual charts, I always want to know with what I call the back end. The back end is the market. It's the SPY, it's the diamonds, it's Qs, IWM. You can pick your poison, pick which one you want to use. You can pick 2, pick 3, pick 4. Doesn't matter what works for you. I tend to focus on the SPY and the Qs, but pick that. All right. I also focus on an indicator from TC 2000. I hit a wrong button and it turned all my screens back white. I have to fix that. But I will follow T2123. I follow that very, very closely. And I follow the VIX very closely as well. Everybody can see that we're clearly bullish. And I'm hearing, and I mentioned this yesterday and the day before, yesterday morning, maybe the day before, maybe that's when I mentioned it. There's a lot of chatter out there, the market getting maybe a little bit overcrowded. The word, inflation, stagnation. You've got Jamie Dimon saying that, hey, the economy is slipping down a little bit. So we could see a little bit of a pullback here, but there's something I want to point out. The market's going up, and just for anybody that would like to say whatever you want to say, please do so. Before there was the Mag 7, and there was FANG. How many times have you guys heard, or how many years back do you think you've heard this market is being pushed up by only the FANG stocks or the Mag 7? Anybody want to just throw something out there? No one's going to hold you to it. 5 years, 10 years, long time. What does everyone think? 10 years, we've been hearing this, being pushed up for, 10 years. Anybody else? Thanks, Roasted. Okay, 8 years. All right. Hey, good morning, Gretchen. How are you? So the point I want to make here, but I also want to throw a little caution out here as well. Okay. All of this right here, this is all, oh my God, we've been pushed up by the Mag 7. We can go back, 2 years now, when the FANG was sort of dropped off the cliff. We can look, and you'll see that the market goes up and up and up. It has its little pullbacks, okay, and then up and up and up and up and up. And everybody blames it on a handful of stocks. Everybody does that, and that's worrisome. It worries me, but I also say I don't care. I mean, it does worry me. It really does. I don't think I convey that very much in the room. I probably convey that I really don't care. I don't care what pushes these stocks up. I don't. All I'm going to follow is the trend. And when the market starts to turn sour, it will tell us clearly. There's no question in my mind. It will tell us clearly. I brought some water today. Okay, now let's get cautious here, because there are some things that I would like to bring to your attention. And I usually don't get into the bearish side of things too much until it's bearish. But here's the Dow 30, and I've set up a little, I call it market attitude. And here's the Dow 30. And do you know that there are only 7 stocks that meet my bullish market attitude out of the Dow 30? Yeah, I don't have bad breath. I actually brush my teeth several times a day. I'm good with that. I don't have bad breath. But this is concerning, okay? And every trader might get to where they're getting to different ways. Now, I am still bullish. I am not about to turn bearish until we get that signal I was talking about. The market will tell us. T2123 will tell us. It will not hide it. It will not slip it in under the radar. It will tell us. But I do want to point out some things that should be on your mind. The Dow 30, there are only 7 stocks that meet my bullish criteria. Let's come over here and can I change that? I thought I could. Maybe that's not wide enough. Oh, here it is. Let's look at the S&P 500. The S&P 500, there are only 109 stocks that meet my bullish attitude. Wow. That's interesting, isn't it? Not very many. Now let's come over here and look at the NASDAQ 100. So make sure this is set right. There are only 26 that meet my my bullish criteria for the NASDAQ 100. That's not very many. So the point of this is to show that it might be some of these big bad Mag 7 stocks that are lifting up. There are stocks that meet the bullish criteria. I'll go over that in just a second. Meet the criteria, but there's an awful lot of stocks that aren't. So the way I look at this is there's always going to be leaders. And right now, if you're AI or you're in that AI business somewhere, well, you're going to be a leader, all right? But underneath that, help pushing those leaders up, there's all these other stocks. And for the high cap 1,000, okay, there's only 284 that meet that criteria. So there are stocks up there helping, yes, but is there enough? I question that. I mean, and like I say, I follow the SPY an awful lot, and the SPY has a lot of the tech in it, a lot of the Qs in it, and there we go. And there's only 110. It says 496 there. Only 110 out of 496. That seems really low to me. That's not even 50%. So while I am very big on follow the chart, if it's bullish, by golly, latch onto it and go with it. Don't be fearful. Don't be afraid. Trade the market. You can have that attitude, but also also be aware of things like this. Be aware of what could happen. All right, don't get complacent that everything is up. One of these days, this market is going to come down. One of these days, it will, and it's going to fall on your head, and it's going to hurt if you're not prepared for it. All right. So I've been thinking about doing this, and just I don't know of a way to keep track of it other than like an Excel file or something. So just mark it down every day. S&P, how many stocks meet my criteria? By the way, the criteria is pretty simple, nothing fancy. I want the close greater than, I'm using the 21 EMA because I think there's an awful lot of traders that hang their hat on the 21 EMA. And I want the close above the 8 EMA. I hang my hat on that one. So I want it above the 8. And I want the 21 to be above the 34 EMA, and I want the 34 EMA to be above the 50 simple. So I'm asking for quite a lot here for a bullish trend, but it's what I want. And just by judging by all this, I did this last night, I was a bit surprised on the lack of power, because if you listen to CNBC, that there's folks on CNBC that are talking about how we're getting a broadening out. Well, boy, your broadening out is about the size of a, a penny, a dime. We need a broadening out of a quarter, 50-cent piece. Um, we need some rooster tail out there to get pushing. And so anyway, just please, be cautious as we trade higher. Okay. All right, Mr. Goodson. UEC, URA, take your pick. Oh, those are all great. I closed my UU yesterday at 50%. When it hit here, it may be setting up for a goodbye again. UEC, there we go. UEC, is that one I'm in? I think I'm in this one. Yeah, I'm in UEC, and yeah, that's working out really, really nice. And then UAR, oops, URA. There we go. That's looking real nice. Yeah, real sweet. Those are three great charts to be looking at. PEGA. That's not it. PEGA. There we go. Nice chart. Man, look at that. Back up over the 50-period moving average, a little pop up for 3 days, inside day, close enough to the T line there. Could be a 3-8 trap, could be, or maybe just three. We'll call it a 3 trap breakout, maybe. Wonderful chart. Let's flag that. Target wise, I think that would clearly be a target right in there. A lot of pretty close to it. But once we break out, hey, let's see what we've got. There's a weekly chart. Now you've got some targets over here on the left. Pretty nice chart there. All right, I'm at that time where I need to cut it off so I can get everything done that I need to do. Okay, yeah, MW. MW's asked me about that open. We talked about that already this morning. We'll talk again. Has asked me about open on YouTube, and just talk about that. So I think it got beat up pretty hard here. It hit our 50% target right on the money. Just smack it, and it crashed it, like Mr. Potato Head. And now it needs to put the arms back and the feet back on, eyeballs, lips, and all that. That's what it's trying to do before it can move up. I don't particularly think it's a buy right here. I really don't. I mean, it could be a buy as long as it doesn't break your stop, whatever your stop might be. But after this move, it might need, okay, let's take a little rest. And then let's see if it can't start moving up. If it attempts to take out this 50% range again, that will be a good buy area. And that's where I might look to buy it. And of course, on that breakout. I'm going to turn this into a 2-day chart, 3-day chart, 4-day chart, 5-day chart. Still doesn't. There we go. We can do that. Next target up from this breakout level here is going to be about this 870, 880 area on this open right in here. Okay. So far, it's doing great. It just needs an entry that you can be comfortable with. And this could be comfortable depending on where your stop is. Something right here, this is almost a 9% stop. That might be more than anyone wants to chew on. If you want to take it down to here, down to the pivot low, as an example, for some reason, some insane reason, that's 37%. So I think we just need to wait until we get an alert, which here, let me do that. So if we start to break out over, I'm going to put this right here. No, I'm going to put it right there. A little high off today's candle. This is the candle I'm using. I'm going to put it there. And if we start to break out over that, and if you do it today, this is what it'll look like, today's candle, this is what it'll look like. Well, that would be in a candle that would be good bait for a lot of traders. And I think that might be a buy right in there, working to break through that 50% level. All right. So make sure we talk about that one today. Here, let me set that alert in there. There we go. Thank you, MW. Okay, I'm out of here. Members, we'll see it when the market open. He used to see at the bottom of the hour. That's not true anymore. We'll see you when the market opens up. And I certainly want to thank you all for being here. Absolutely appreciate it. Let's have fun today. All right. Take care.